Hello everyone, this is John Mark Johnson Jr. again, here with a wonderful kind of auxiliary activity for the LOGOS folks who are taking the LOGOS course. As I mentioned earlier on Facebook, I'm going to be walking through John 1:1. And the purpose of this little exercise is to give you guys a chance to kind of work with pronunciation a little bit. The idea, and maybe I didn't make it clear enough in the Facebook video, but the idea was for you guys to go through John 1:1 in Koine Greek on your own, try to figure out how to pronounce everything, and then compare it to what I'm going to do here. So if you haven't gone through and tried to pronounce John 1:1 on your own, I suggest that you go ahead and stop the video for now, go and do that, and then come back and test with this and see how you did. Okay, so this is meant to be a comparison. Go try to pronounce John 1:1 in Koine Greek on your own, and then come back and see how well you did. And I imagine that most of you guys will actually do pretty decent on this one. John 1:1 fortunately isn't super hard. Now I say that somewhat tongue-in-cheek because it's Koine Greek, and yeah, it's different from English, so it's going to be a little hard. But it actually isn't terrible compared to a lot of other passages. John 1:1 fortunately is made up of just 1- and 2-syllable words. So you never get past 2 syllables, so it's actually pretty nice. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into John 1:1 and figure out how to pronounce it in Koine Greek. Alright, so our first word is just 2 letters. We have a capital epsilon and a lowercase nu, epsilon nu. Now some of you will automatically notice that there is an apostrophe on this one, and so some of you guys will think that it has an H sound involved. It does not. The H sound only shows up if you have a forward apostrophe. Pretend that's a forward apostrophe. Forward apostrophe. The one that we have here, though, is a backwards apostrophe, so it does not make the H sound. And you're going to find this when you're reading through the Greek text. There's lots of different accent marks and whatnot that will show up all over the place. Most of them do not matter for the Erasmian pronunciation system that we are using. The only one that really matters is the forward apostrophe, and that's the rough breathing mark. The others you can basically ignore when it comes to pronouncing them. Now, they will use the not the rough breathing mark, but they will use the other breathing marks to differentiate between certain homonyms, for example, words that sound the same. They'll put different marks over them. But as far as pronunciation, the only one that's really significant is the forward apostrophe, which is not what this is, so you don't have to worry about that here. Now, as you'll probably expect, this word only has 1 syllable. It's a really short word, so you'd expect that. And all of the syllables are always going to be based around the vowel. So the epsilon is the vowel. And the question that we're always asking when it comes to syllabification is whether or not it gets the consonant that comes afterwards. It's already given that it's going to get whatever consonant comes in front. There is no consonant in front in this case. It starts out with a vowel. But the question is, does it get the consonant that comes afterwards? And we talked about this before. There are three conditions under which that epsilon can get that nu. It can get it if it is a final. Excuse me here. Let me grab a stylus so this is a little bit easier. It can grab it if it is the final letter of the word. It can get it if it is followed by another consonant. And then the other situation in which it could get the next consonant is when you have one of the double consonants. And those ones gets split. Alright, so nice little review on that one. Now, do any of those apply to this new here? Is it the final letter of the word? Yes, it is. So I know it's going to get that consonant. I don't really have to check the other ones because it's already got it. So we have epsilon new, and epsilon will be pronounced with the new, which is kind of obvious from how small of a word it is. But we followed the rules, so now we know we're okay, you know. But yeah, we probably figured going into this that the epsilon was going to be pronounced with the new, but we checked all the rules, and yep, but sure enough it does. And so now we have to figure out how to put it together. Epsilon has an E sound, epsilon. New has kind of an N sound, new. So we have N, N. That is the word, N. N. Great. So we have the first word of John 1:1 down. Fantastic. Here's the next word. This one has 4 letters in it. As you can tell, we have alpha, rho, chi, eta. Alpha, rho, chi, eta. And what we need to do is figure out how to syllabify it. And to do that, to break it up into syllables, we need to figure out the vowels first. Alpha is one vowel, eta is another vowel. Let's go to the first vowel first, the alpha, and ask ourselves, does it get the consonant that comes after it, that rho? We know automatically alpha would get whatever is in front of it. That's automatic. But of course there's nothing there, so we don't really have to worry about it, but automatically gets in front. It's what comes after that's always the question. Is it going to get that rho? Does alpha get the rho? And again, we have our 3 conditions. First question, is it, sorry about that. Is it the final letter of the word? No, it is not. So that reason doesn't apply here. Second, is it followed by another consonant? Yes, it is. It is followed by the key. So does the alpha get the rho? Yes, it does, because it's followed by another consonant. So the alpha will get the rho, and that will be the first syllable. So it does get the rho. And this automatically creates the second syllable for us. We know that eta automatically gets what's in front of it. That's automatic. Just like alpha would have gotten whatever was in front of it, eta is automatically going to get what is in front of it, the key. So those are the 2 syllables that we're looking at. Now we just need to go through and pronounce them. So alpha makes an ah sound. Rho makes a r sound, kind of like an r sound. Rho. Ki makes kind of a c sound. Ki. Or kind of a k sound. You can pronounce it either way. Because in English, you know, that's kind of... We've pronounced C in all kinds of weird ways. Sometimes it's a soft C, it sounds more like an S, and it's just all kinds of weird. We'll say it's more of a K sound just to keep things simple. And then eta has a long A sound, so A. So let's go through and try to pronounce this, and keep in mind that there need to be 2 syllables here. So first syllable, ar, 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 ar. Second syllable, k, k, a, k, a, k, rk, rk. So what we've learned so far for John 1:1 is nrk, nrk, nrk. Those are the first 2 words of John 1:1. exciting stuff, isn't it? Now, some of you guys might be wondering about all the weird little breathing marks that they have above. And like we said before, if it is not a forward apostrophe, it does not matter. Okay, it's not going to change how you pronounce it. Now, those will be used to distinguish between different homonyms and whatnot, but they do not change the pronunciation of the word for Erasmian Koine Greek. So you don't really have to worry about them for the sake of pronunciation. Just if it is the forward apostrophe, that's the one that you need to worry about. A forward apostrophe, you need to worry about. All the others you can basically ignore, at least for the purposes of pronunciation. NRK, NRK. Alright, again, this is not a forward apostrophe, so we don't really need to worry about that part of it. This is our third word. Let's go ahead and try to pronounce it. We have the Greek letters eta and nu. Eta and nu. The center of our syllable is going to be the eta, and we always ask ourselves, does it get the consonant that comes afterwards? It's automatic that it's going to get whatever is in front. But of course there is nothing in front, so it doesn't really matter in this case, but what comes in front is automatic. The question is, does it get what comes afterwards? Again, we have the three standards. First one, is it the final letter of the word? And the answer is yes, so we don't need to worry about the other standards, because the first one, it satisfies. So eta will pick up the nu as well. So now we can go ahead and pronounce it. That's the syllable. It does pick up the nu, of course nothing afterwards, because there is nothing afterwards, so it is what it is. So now we can go through and try to pronounce it. Eta has a long A sound, so A, eta. Nu has an N sound, N, N, nu. Let's try to put it together. Ain, 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 ain. Put all three words together. We have in, arche, ein. In, arche, ein. There we go. Now you have said three words together in Koine Greek. I mean, we are just clipping along so fast. Let me tell you, it's like lightning over here. Okay, I might be slightly exaggerating. Only a little, though. Alright, now we have something that's a little bit more interesting, because that right there, that actually is the forward apostrophe. So this time, we do have to worry about the breathing mark. We have a forward apostrophe, and whenever you have that, it is like putting an H in front of the word. So this one has the rough breathing mark, the forward apostrophe, so we're going to pronounce it as if there was an H in front of this sound. Now fortunately, we only have one actual Greek letter to work out with here. And when it comes to syllabification, we know that the vowel, that the vowel automatically gets what is in front. That's automatic. And we would say it's a question as to what comes afterwards, but there is nothing afterwards, so we don't have to worry about that. So the only thing that we're going to worry about is the rough breathing mark telling us there's an H sound there, and then the Greek letter omicron. Omicron basically sounds like a normal O in English, so omicron. You put the H sound in front of that and you got ha. So omicron by itself is just ah. Put the H sound in front of it for the rough breathing mark and you get ha. Ha. Put it all together. We have in, arche, ein, ha. In, arche, ein, ha. In, arche, ein, ha. Woohoo! 4 words down. So far it's pretty easy though, right? Most of these have just been single syllable words, not too bad. John 1:1 is a pretty good one to start with for that. Alright, here's one that's a little bit longer. Well, let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do here. First thing, we need to make sure that we know how many syllables are going to be in it, and that depends on the number of vowel sounds. And there are no diphthongs here, so we don't have to worry about that. So we can basically just go through and mark out the vowels. We have omicron and omicron. Those are the two vowel sounds. In the first vowel sound, it's automatic that it's going to get what comes in front. The question is always, does it get what comes behind? What do you guys think? Is this omicron right here, is it going to get that gamma or not? Well, go through our little list here. Is it the final letter? No, gamma is not the final letter of the word, so that one doesn't apply. Let's see, is it followed by another consonant? Let's see, omicron, the one that comes after it, it's omicron here. Yeah, that's not a consonant, so that one doesn't apply. And then finally, is it one of the double consonants? There are only two double consonants in Greek. You guys remember what they are? They are xi and psi. Xi and psi. Is it one of those two? No, it's gamma. So yeah, none of those apply. So does the first omicron, the one over here, does it get the gamma? No, it does not. So that is where the syllable break is. And we already knew to start off with how many syllables this word was going to have. It has two different vowel sounds, omicron and omicron. Has two different so since it has those two different vowel sounds, it needs to have two different syllables. And we already split the first syllable off, but kind of de facto creates the second syllable. So that's how it syllabifies. Now we need to go through and pronounce it. All right, and what we have here is our first letter is lambda, has an L sound, lambda. Then omicron makes a short O sound, omicron, gamma. Gamma sounds like a G, except when it's followed by another gamma or something that has a hard C sound in it. But that's not the case here. It's followed by a vowel, so that doesn't matter. So this is going to sound like a G. So gamma. Omicron, like I said before, sounds like a short O, so omicron. And then this funny looking letter at the end here is the end form of sigma. Whenever sigma is at the end of a word, it basically changes shape. It opens up and it drops a tail. So it looks kind of like an S, but it drops below the line. But sigma still makes an S sound. Sigma. So putting all of that together and recognizing where the syllable break is, our first syllable is going to be la, la, la. And then our second syllable is g, s, logos, logos. Now, you guys would be used to pronouncing it as logos because that's the name of the course, but that's the modern Greek pronunciation. In Erasmian Greek, it's logos. So, going through and pronouncing what we've got thus far, we have en, arche, ein, ha, logos. En, arche, ein, ha, logos. Perfect. Let's keep going. We're not all the way through John 1:1 yet. Here is a fantastic Greek word, 3 letters, and this one we do have some kind of a breathing mark here, but it doesn't really apply for 2 reasons. First of all, it is not the forward apostrophe, so it's not going to matter because of that. And then also on top of that, this word already has a consonant out in front, So you can't put an H sound in front of that because there's already a consonant in front. So it really wouldn't matter even if we did. So for two reasons. First of all, it's not actually a proper forward apostrophe, and then on top of that, you have a consonant out in front already, so you can't put the H sound out in front because there's always something there. So for a multitude of reasons, well, two reasons, we don't have to worry about the accent marks. But there is one thing that we have to worry about here, and that is how many syllables we're going to have. When we go with when we're looking for syllables, we want to find distinct vowel sounds. And a lot of people, when they're looking at this, they would say, well, there's two vowels there. There's alpha and iota. The problem, though, is that syllables are based on vowel sounds, not number of vowels. So if two vowels work together in a diphthong, that only counts as one vowel sound. And that's what you have going on here. This is a diphthong, so those two vowels are actually going to act together. So if you can recognize that that is a diphthong, you'll know how many syllables this word should have. And how many is that? It will only have one syllable because there's only one vowel sound. It's a diphthong, and since they're acting together, it makes only one sound, meaning that in this word, there's only going to be one syllable. And again, we go through and ask ourselves, does it get the following consonant? Well, there is no following consonant, so that doesn't matter. And we know that automatically it's going to pick up the consonant in front of it. That one's always automatic. The one in front it's always going to get that one. So it turns out that this is just one syllable, and everything is going to be pronounced together. All right, now let's make sure that we know what the diphthong is going to sound like before we get there, though. Alpha, iota. That diphthong makes the long I sound like an aisle. And for some reason I cannot spell aisle today. Is that how you spell that? I don't know. It's been a long day, people. I think that's aisle. If not, shoot me later. Okay, so it makes the long I sound like an aisle. And it has a kappa in front of it. And kappa makes a K sound. Kappa. So you have K-I, Kai. Pronouncing it all together, we have in, RK, ein, ha, logos, kai. In RK, ein, ha, logos, kai. We are moving along at breakneck speed, let me tell you. Now this one we've already seen before, earlier, so we already know how this one's pronounced. We have the forward apostrophe, we have an omicron. The forward apostrophe tells us there's an H sound in front. Omicron is ah, so this is ha. Ha. Put it all together. You have in, RK, ein, ha, logos, kai, ha. Exciting times. Hey, and we've also seen this one already before too, right? So we already know how to pronounce it. We have two vowel sounds that are acting independently of each other. No, they're not diphthongs, acting independently of each other. We go to the first one, it automatically gets the consonant in front. We ask, does it get the one that's in back? It's not a final letter of the word, so that one doesn't matter. It is not followed by another consonant, so that doesn't matter. And it's not one of the double consonants, C or C, so that doesn't matter. So does it get that one? No, it does not. That is where the syllable break is. So we have logos, logos. Putting it all together, excuse me here. Sorry about that, folks. We have in, RK, ein, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos. That's another great thing about using John 1.1 as a starter, is you get a lot of the same words again and again, which is kind of annoying, and that you're not getting a lot of new material, but it is really nice, and that you can just kind of look back and say, how did I pronounce it the last time? Well, it's the same thing, so yay! Moving on. And this is another one of those words that we've seen before. And so we already know how it's pronounced. We figured out that the breathing marks do not really matter here. It's not a forward apostrophe, so it doesn't apply. We have one vowel sound. It is eta. Eta would automatically gets what is in front, but of course there's nothing that's in front to get, but it would automatically get it if it was there. The big question is, does it get what comes after? Yes, it does. That is the final letter of the word. So it will get what comes after as well because it is a final letter. And so we're going to pronounce it all together. We have eta, which makes a long A sound, nu, which sounds like n, like n, nu, eta is long A, n, ain, ain. Put it all together. We have in, arke, ain, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ain. Alright, moving on. This is a word that we haven't seen yet, so we're going to have to take a little bit more time here. Whenever we're going through and trying to figure out how to pronounce a word, we first need to figure out how the syllabification breaks down, which means we first need to find our vowels. Well, there's our vowel. It is omicron. Now, we look at the mark above it, see if that applies. Well, we already have consonants out in front, so even if that was the rough breathing mark, which technically it's not, but even if it was, it wouldn't apply because you already have consonants out in front, and you can't put the rough breathing mark sound in place of consonants that are already there. So it's not the rough breathing mark, and you already have leading consonants, so that doesn't matter. And when it comes to the syllabification, the vowel sound, not just a vowel, but vowel sound, vowels working together can produce a single sound. The vowel automatically gets what comes in front. So it's going to have the P and the rho automatically. The question is, does it get what comes afterwards, the sigma? Well, three standards. Is it the final letter of the word? That's the first one. Second one is it followed by another consonant. And then third, is it one of the double consonants? Do any of those apply to that sigma? Yes, it is the final letter of the word. So the omicron is going to get the sigma as well, which means that we're going to pronounce all of these together. Alright, now let's go through and make sure we got the sounds for all of these. P makes a P sound, P, P, P. Rho makes kind of an R sound, R, R, Rho. Omicron has a short O sound, Ah. Omicron, Ah. Sigma makes an S sound, S, S, Sigma. Put it all together. P, R, A, S. P, R, A, S. Pros, pros, pros. Alright, all of the words that we've gone through so far: in, arke, ain, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ain, pros. Lightning speed here. Maybe not quite. Alright, this is another word that we have not seen yet, so we're going to have to take our time with it. Okay, first of all, does that breathing mark matter? No, you already have a consonant out in front, and it's not a forward apostrophe. Not a forward apostrophe. You computer, quit trying to interpret for me. It's not that. There's already a consonant out in front, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, and then we try to figure out how the syllables are going to work, so we need to find our vowels. We only have one. It is omicron. It is automatic that it gets what is in front, so we don't have to worry about that. The question is, does it get the one that comes afterwards? By now, you guys will probably already know. Does it get what comes after or not? Yes, it does, because it is the final letter. A vowel will pick up the following consonant if it is the final letter of the word. Okay, there are 3 tests: final letter, followed by another consonant, double consonant, final consonant final letter applies here. Alright, so what that means is that all of this is going to be pronounced together. The Omicron gets both the tau in front and the nu following. Let's make sure that we have the sounds here. Tau has a T sound, tau. Omicron has a short O sound, Omicron. Nu has kind of an N sound, nu. Put it all together. N. N. Ton. Alright, putting everything together that we've had so far, we have in, arche, ein, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ein, pros, ton. Woohoo! Moving along like lightning. Alright, next word. This is another one that we haven't seen so far, so we're going to need to slow down a little bit, make sure that we've got it. Let's look at our breathing mark here first. Is that going to matter? No. Why? We already have a leading consonant, so you can't put H in front anyway, so that's not going to matter. And also, this is not a forward apostrophe. So is that breathing mark going to matter? Nope. Now we go through and we find our vowel sounds. Not just our vowels, but our vowel sounds. And here we have 2 vowels, but to figure out how many vowel sounds there are, we have to ask ourselves, is this a diphthong? The epsilon and the omicron there, is that a diphthong? No, it is not, which means these 2 vowel sounds are going to be distinct. So how many vowel sounds do we have? We have 2 because epsilon omicron is not a diphthong. Alright, let's go through and figure out what these vowels get as far as the consonants are concerned. Let's do the first one first. Epsilon automatically gets what's in front of it, so it automatically gets the theta. Alright, now, is the epsilon going to get the omicron? No, we already know this because vowel sounds are always pronounced distinctly unless they're a diphthong. We already said this is not a diphthong, so we know that that's going to be distinct. Now, how many syllables should this word have? 2, because there's 2 vowel sounds, epsilon and omicron. So guess what? We're done. That's it. We know that the epsilon gets what's in front. It's not going to get the omicron because that's another vowel sound. That's where the break is. And that means that, and since there are only 2 vowel sounds here, how we've broken it up, those things are going to be pronounced together. So we have theta and epsilon on one side, omicron and nu on the other side. Those are the 2 syllables. Let's go through and make sure that we have all the right sounds here. Theta has a th sound, theta. Epsilon has a short e sound, epsilon. Omicron has a short o sound, omicron. Nu has an n sound, nu. Okay, let's go ahead and pronounce it according to the syllables. First syllable, fe. Second syllable, on. Put it together. Theon. Alright, everything that we've done so far. En, arche, ein, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ein, pros, ton, theon. En arche, ein, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ein, pros, ton, theon. Woohoo! We're almost through John 1:1. I almost made it through the first verse. Yay! Now this is a word that we have seen before. Same thing. And before we looked at it and we said, does the breathing mark matter? No, first of all, it is not the rough breathing mark. And we also already have a leading consonant, so that doesn't apply. So does the breathing mark matter here? Nope. How about syllabification? We said our big thing that we had to worry about here was distinctive vowel sounds, and it turns out that these two vowels are pronounced together because they're a diphthong. They make the long I sound like an aisle. I'm still not sure if I spelled that right or not, but yeah, it makes the long I sound as an aisle. Put the kappa sound in front of that, and you get kai. Kai. That's automatic that the vowel sound is going to get what is in front. So we don't really need to worry about that. So it's kai, kai. All right, let's go through and put it all together then. En, arke, ein, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ein, pros, ton, theon, kai. Woohoo! All right, here's another word that we haven't seen before. We've seen something that's close to it, but we haven't seen this word yet. So let's go through and take a look at it. First thing we notice, there's a breathing mark. Does that kind of breathing mark matter? No, it does not. It is not a forward apostrophe. We also already have a leading consonant. So, does it matter? No, not for the Erasmian pronunciation. It can help in distinguishing homonyms and things like that, but for the Erasmian pronunciation, you don't have to worry about it. All right, after that, we need to look for distinct vowel sounds. And we have two vowels here, epsilon and omicron, but our question is, do they make distinct sounds, or do they act together as a diphthong? Epsilon, omicron, is that a diphthong? No, it is not, which means that these two vowels are going to be pronounced differently. They're going to be pronounced separately. All right, so for the first vowel, we need to see what consonants it will get. It automatically gets the consonant that is in front. All right, and then we'd say, does it get the consonant that follows afterwards? Well, there is no consonant that comes after the epsilon. That's another vowel there, that's omicron. There is no other consonant that comes afterwards, so that's where our break is going to be. It is going to divide between the vowel sounds, because each vowel sound has to be a part of its own syllable. We only have two vowels. We already did a break here, so we already have two syllables. That's basically done. Now we just need to go through and make sure that we can pronounce this thing. Keep each syllable, its parts together. For the first syllable, we have theta and epsilon. Theta makes a th sound, theta. Epsilon has a short e sound, epsilon. For the second syllable, we have omicron, which has a short o sound, omicron. And then we have the final form of sigma, sigma. Let's go through and pronounce each syllable. The. Second syllable. Os. Put it together. Theos. All right, let's look at everything that we've done so far. We have en, arche, ein, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ein, pros, ton, theon, kai, theos. Exciting times. All right, here is a word that we've seen multiple times now. We've seen it here, we've seen it here, and of course we're introducing it again here. Remember how to pronounce this one? It's ein. But just to recap real quick here, we have a breathing mark here. Does that matter? Well, is it the forward apostrophe? No, it is not, so it doesn't matter. Look for the vowel. It's eta. It automatically gets whatever is in front, but there's nothing in front, so that doesn't really matter. Does it get what comes afterwards? Yes. Yes, it does get what comes after, because that is the final letter of the word. What were our three conditions where it could pick up a consonant that comes afterwards? If that consonant is the final letter of the word is one, which is the case here. If it is followed by another consonant, or if it is one of the double consonants, then you split the double consonant up. All right, and it being the final letter was what applied here. You make sure you know the sounds. Eta is a long A sound, eta. Nu is an N sound, nu. Put it together. Ain, 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 ain. All right, going through everything that we've done so far. In, arche, ain, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ain, pros, ton, theon, kai, theos, ain. Woohoo! Just a couple more to go, and we'll have a whole verse down in Greek, kind of, sort of. Hey, we've seen this one before. But, see all the nice little places where we've seen this? And we're going to reintroduce it here. Okay. But to review, that breathing mark is significant. There's no leading consonant, and that actually is a proper forward apostrophe. And what that tells us is that we need to have an H sound out in front of this. So we have H for the rough breathing mark, and then omicron has a short O sound, omicron. Put it together and you have H, ha, ha. Let's put it together with everything that we've done so far. In, arche, ain, ha, logos, kai, ha, logos, ain, pros, ton, theon, kai, theos, ain, ha. One word left. We're almost there, people. Hey, and we've seen this one before too. Fantastic. You guys remember how to pronounce this one? It's logos. But just in case you can't remember, let's go through the basics real quick. First off, breathing mark doesn't matter. We already have a leading consonant, so we can say automatically nope. If we wanted to look a little bit further, we could say, is that a forward apostrophe? No, it is not. So the breathing mark here, well, it doesn't apply because there is no rough breathing mark, so we don't have to worry about that. Go through and look for distinct vowel sounds. Neither of these vowels are next to each other, so there's no chance that it could be a diphthong, so each of these is going to be pronounced separately. We look at our first vowel, the first omicron, it automatically gets the lambda. We ask, does it get the gamma as well? And we ask ourselves the three questions. Is it a final letter? Is the gamma the final letter of that word? No, it is not. We say, is it followed? By another consonant? Okay, is the gamma followed by another consonant? No, it's followed by a vowel sound, omicron. So it's not followed by another consonant, it's followed by a vowel instead, so that doesn't apply. Last but not least, is it one of the two double consonants? Okay, and do you remember what the double consonants are? Go away. Xi and Psi. Is it one of those two? No, it is not. So it's not a double consonant. So does omicron get that gamma? No, it does not. And this word only had two vowel sounds. We already made a split here because it doesn't get that gamma. So now we have our two syllables. First syllable, we have lambda omicron. So l, lambda, omicron, la. Second syllable, we have gamma, gamma, omicron, omicron, sigma, gos, logos. Put it together with everything that we have so far, and we have John 1:1. In, arche, ein, ha, logos. Kai, ha, logos, ein, pros, ton, theon. Kai, theos, ein, ha, logos. There you go. You have now read John 1:1 in Greek, in Koine Greek. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means basically how we do it in English. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Now, of course, there is a little bit more subtlety to it than that, but as far as basic translation is concerned, that is absolutely just fine. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. En arche ein halogos, kai halogos ein pros ton theon, kai theos ein halogos. It means effectively the same thing. All right, hopefully that helped you guys a little bit with the pronunciation. Got you guys a little bit used to it, into doing it a little bit more. Thank you for your time and attention. Go with God and be blessed.